and now he's 45. I'm like, oh, he's very in a bad state. He has no personal interest. That when someone they love rugby league or something, good on you, mate. Go on forever, or you're, or the guys I know who are into race cars. They make no money, but they love it.
They love what they're doing. I guess there's for me, it's about earning a decent income and getting a lifestyle out of it, which is always a battle, because quite often when you're a small business like probably yours and mine and 75% of the people on the coast, the business is actually just paying you a wage and not much more. You're not really having you're not paying yourself annual leave and all the things that give you a good lifestyle. So it's always a battle. So the battle for us has been how to take what we do and actually give us a lifestyle. And so we started working with a business coach, Bill Stack from Action Coach.
Wow.
And
we use Steve Leach from Action Coach.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brizzy.
Ah.
Action Coach, yeah. Brad Sugar's business, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So we've been using him for a couple of years. So he's shown us the light in turning your business around from a family business that you're working in day out to something that you build a team and that runs independent of you actually being there to actually run it. So really what you're doing is you're putting all the things in place for your team to do the daily activities in your business without you having to do the daily activities.
Yeah.
So there's always been a balance between trying to finance doing that, because you need extra staff to do that. So it's always been a battle in, needing to do it. You haven't quite got the money. So the more you can extract yourself out and actually spend more time on things like perhaps securing loans or overdrafts or getting in funding to put other people in, so you've got a team that's actually working.
Yeah, I love that. I thought it was really strange. The old man said to me years ago, he said, we're getting this guy in, from Action Coach. He'll be like a third set of eyes. It's exactly that, because, you get locked into your day. All of a sudden, you've got a guy who floats around. Action Coach guys have seen a lot of different businesses, and then go, "Do you realise that you do this every time a customer comes in?"
Yep.
You can actually believe them though. It's not like your wife or some other person telling you this. It's like, oh, yeah, do they do that? Wow. And if you just did this thing, this would be so much better. It's intelligent.
Yep. I've found that most of the things he'd say, I'd sort of balk at. Like, for example, he'd say, look, get yourself a VA to get some of this work done, because you're not getting half this shit's just not getting done. You need to get it done. So one way is a VA, and I thought, VA, what? So he said, virtual assistant. Philippines have got them. They'll do the work for you at a lower rate, so you can afford to get several things done. So, and I thought, there's no way we're getting a VAs. And then a week later, the pennies dropped. So in a week after that, we've got ourselves a VA.
Wow.
So
I couldn't imagine it. Right. What sort of things?
Okay. As an example, we decided we want to produce an annual or a calendar, and so what I've done is I've taken photographs, and I've also grabbed some photographs. I've paid for photographs off the internet. And we've paid a girl in the Philippines to do photoshopping to create our calendar photos. So I've got a calendar shop for AFL and for all the different sports. So at the end of the year, we'll put a calendar out. Right. So what I do is I do the concept of what we want in the picture, supply her with the raw material, and she then puts it all together, comes back, shows me what she's done so far, and we say, okay, well, change this a bit, or how about we do that? And then she does that. So you then pay her through PayPal, which is generally US dollars, and we're probably paying $5 to $6 an hour for her work. So she'd spend 20 odd hours getting these photos done. So you can do that for. We've also done that for CAD work for engineering drawings. We've had someone, we can give them some drawings to do.
Did you, like my mind thinks, oh man, I will take 3 hours just trying to explain to, not a language thing, just, I would have done it by the time I've explained to a third person. Did you think
exactly,
that? Yeah.
Exactly what you're saying. Yep, spot on. And that's probably one of the misconceptions when you get people to do that. You still have to treat them as now one of your staff members, so you've got to put time in to help them. So a couple of things we've done with VA sort of fell down because I've tended to say, I need this done here, just go and do it. I'm busy doing other things, and that doesn't work because you still got to
guide the idea.
Yes, but it is a way of getting stuff done that one, it eases your finance a bit because you can get a bit more done with less, with less money.
Yep. But now your mind is more free to create. I can create. The calendar's one thing. Now, what about this thing we did 6 months later? Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Well, then I get Steve on, and then I'm running to keep up with him.
Yeah, great, great.
So it is. It's like you've got to put people in place to get the things done without you actually doing them. And everyone's probably has the mindset that, I know how to do it. I'll do it better, or it's much easier that I do it and explain to someone else on how to do it. So you end up staying in and doing all the stuff that you should be offloading, and that's a big. Takes a while to get your head around that sort of stuff.
I don't often say this, but because my father's one of 4 kids, so he's the third middle one. I always look at him and go, how did you all 4 of them were poor and 3 of them were all really successful, right?
Right.
And it was like that fighting for toys. Real strange characters to be honest.
Yeah.
But where we work for the old man because he's a delegator. He's worked, but I haven't seen him change a tire or shift furniture my entire life. He's always managing someone else doing it without being lazy. He's a but my problem is what you're getting at here is like I've been taught to do everything for that bloke. So I needed to hear this from you today. Geez, you can get more done if you step out of your body. That's where Action Coach would be great for.
That's really what they've done for us. So we worked them for a couple of years, and now we're just doing some work with John Dwight, who works for WOW
on media.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's probably Australia's biggest guru for marketing, and he's got a principle called direct response marketing. And we actually put that in our advertisement when we were looking for a marketing manager. And I think Steve picked up on that because Steve had heard about the style of marketing. And I think it probably gave him an opportunity to put some of that stuff in practice in our business. So we're more than tickled pink with having him.
It's sounding good. So, let me tell you something. It's sounding good for this reason.
Yeah.
You know your factory back to front. To me, it just means I love saying the factory. I don't know what you call it at your place, but we've been calling it the factory. You've already done your hard yards. It sounds like the Commonwealth Games are coming, and you've got Steve Dart there. He knows.
Yep.
Man, that bloke can talk to anyone. You know what I'm saying? He can talk the talk. You sort of get this confidence when he's in business mode. It sounds like it's lining up for your play hards. What's the Commonwealth Games all about then? For you, or is there an opportunity?
Yes, it is, and no, it isn't. I'll just give you 2 sides of it. We find that the larger projects, there's 2 main projects that we're interested in. One of them is the Carrara Sports Centre they're building, which is a 15, 16 court complex. And then there's also another one at Coomera, which is about a 9-court complex. So we would love to do the basketball for those, but to be able to do that, it's a $500,000 spend for us to get one of those jobs done. But the way the building system is working is that we need to.
I better put in here. You do a lot more than basketball rings now. Like
We do hockey goals. We're the world authority on athletic throwing cages for athletics.
Discus and
hammer.
Yep.
So we're one of two companies in the southern hemisphere that manufactures IAAF approved cages, and we're now taking that to the US this year. So we do that. We do volleyball, tennis, basketball systems, rugby goals. So we've got our rugby goals up in Skilled Park. Yep. So yeah, there's about 11 different sports there we cover. So with the Commonwealth Games one, the bigger projects are probably too big for us to financially manage because there's a big gap between your outlay and when you're getting your return on that. So we basically need someone to finance us for $400,000 for a 3 to 4 month period to be able to do that. So what's happened with the Sydney Olympics and the Melbourne Games is we got a lot of refurbishment work for grounds that are being used for training, right? So the countries come over, do their training there. So we picked up a lot of that sort of work.
Okay.
And
right, I see.
But there's certainly are a couple of things here. One, we still want to do the throwing cages for athletics. We want to design the winners' podiums. So I've got a design for that. So we're going to put in a bid to design and manufacture that.
It's funny. It's when you, my mate always said it. Well, what do you do for a job? Well, mate, on the side of the road you've got those wooden things. The little reflective sticker. Yes. Well, I'm the guy that makes the nail that goes in that reflective sticker on that post on the side of the road. I mean, it blows your mind that the things that are getting made just around the corner you don't really realise.
Well, most times when people ask us what we do, we say, we make sports equipment. And they're thinking, okay, look, I need a couple of those 2 kilo weights. Can I get some of them off you? And we're thinking, well, it's not fitness, it's actually sports stuff. So we don't do fitness or gym gear. Yeah. We do the sports. And it's
footballs.
I mean, it's not something that people think of every day, but someone has to
think,
do it.
There's someone making rugby league posts.
Yeah.
You guys do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
There's actually not many people would know this, but the rugby goals we put in the Skilled Park, you've got rugby league and rugby union. So the goalposts we put there, they're 18 metres high, and we put a base. These things actually pivot on a spigot in the ground because rugby and union, there's 100 mil difference between the spacing of the uprights.
Really?
So when they have a union game, what they do is they take the crossbar down, they extend it by 100 mil, and then they physically rotate each goalpost 180 degrees to give it the extra 100 mil.
That's it.
It's crazy. I don't know why, but that's what the case is. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So we're out there one day, and when we put these things up, the guys were out testing out the big screen they had there, and they're putting playing some songs and stuff like that. So we're out on the ground and we're trying to put these posts up, and we had guys on guy ropes because, as I said, these are 18 metres long, and so we've got guys sort of in a V shape pulling these things up with a rope, and one team's pulling a bit harder than the others, and it's swinging around on the ground trying to get them up.
Right.
Anyway, we ended up getting them up, and then the guys up in the stand there that are playing on the screen, they said, "Congratulations on the big screen." So I've actually got a photo of that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Mate. Okay, well, does your mind always, think of, how long have you been doing this now then? Under the name, same business name?
We started in 1994, and the company name is Ozring Proprietary Limited. So it related to that ring that we made. So we ended up, after quite a few years, we then registered Play Hard Sports Equipment as a trading name because we were doing a lot more things. So Ozring was sort of a bit of a redundant name. So we've still got that company name, but we trade as Play Hard Sports.
Right. So have you got pretty much all the sports covered? You know what I'm saying?